welcome to my channel. This is the enveloping for thread club for my local needle shop. Now, if you are an international viewer, you can actually join in on these thread clubs. So I'm going to keep these separate. This one is, I think this was May? No, hang on, it's on these. This was June and this is July. Sorry, yeah, I know, I'm playing catch up. Because I'm just going to put that to one side. I have been busy doing retreats, back-to-back Frogwarts and autumn, no, not autumn in Stars Hollow, that's 2 weeks time, and Night Garden Retreat by Black Needle Society, digital retreats. So they were an absolute blast, but I was absolutely chocker that weekend, so didn't do any recording. However, I did open these because I went hunting for floss. I can't remember why I went hunting for floss specifically. I was probably looking for names because in our stash dives we needed to look for thread names that had pineapple or something in them, whatever. You know, it was intense, it was competitive, and it was fun as all hell. Really, really was. So my gentle art threads. Now what I'm gonna do is enlarge this by a little and excuse me while I shuffle things. There we go. This is so one by one we've got coral reef, which would be kind of perfect in now, how am I going to do this in a dual screen mode? I'm trying to show you on both cameras because both cameras pick it up slightly different, and my camera is right in the middle of my screen, so positioning is my doozy at the moment. So hang on, I will do this. So you're going to see the background of this desktop blurry, but there you go. Okay, kind of getting there. I think that'll work. So this is coral reef. So you've got the oranges and pinks, and for Dark Queen of the Sea we had to do coral. That would have been a beautiful substitute for it, although in saying that, Aaron's shading was phenomenal. Okay, this one does not make any, oh okay, this one does make some sense. This one is called Coral, and it is a delicate pink. Now, the reason why I was about to say it doesn't make any sense is because, sorry, it's called Clover. Derp. It's actually the colour of the petal of the flowers of clover, which are a pale pink, kind of off-white kind of colour. This is Claret. Claret being a red wine. Now I know I have said this before, but I use Stash Cash as my cataloguing system for these babies, and it is brilliant for me making sure that I have the colours that I need or otherwise. So this one's called Cinnamon, and it's brown, and it's got some dark brown tones in there too. Then we've got the sampler threads, which are, well, I'm not sure, I have read this, but I'm not sure why they do two particular. Maybe these are more Quaker style colouring. I'm not 100%. But anyway, these are the sampler threads, the Simply Shakers. So this one is Cinders, and it's pink and blackberry almost. It's gorgeous. The very light shade is just up where that loop is. Now, I was working with the Gentle Arts, and what else did we have? I think it was Gentle Arts. It might have been Classic Colorworks as well, with the Night Garden kit. And if I cut this at the bottom here, I found that the threads were too short. So what I would do is pull them out and then cut them while they were out, or hang them these while they were out. My stitchy girls have also said that you can just cut the loop down there and it opens them up, but it leaves very short lengths in, and I didn't like those too short lengths, especially when we were doing competitive stitching, as happens on the digital retreats. This one is called Cider Mill Brown. It's brown and kind of orange, a little bit like my hair color. There we go. Oh my lordy. I know. I need to get my spot correct. You're not getting a very good color representation on that one. Alright. Overa Soy d'Alger. Sorry, not soy. Overa Soie d'Alger, even. Sorry, Melissa. She corrected me one week down at the thread club. At the... Not at the thread club. At the monthly stitchy meetup. And she was all embarrassed in correcting me over a soie. I didn't know what silk was in French. Now, this one is 232 in a pale green. Isn't it gorgeous? I love these. Haven't used them yet. I will get there. 233 is a much more pistachio green. 234 is getting into the rest of the dark greens. This one is very dark, 236, emerald kind of green, and 235 is quite bright as well. So let me get that in order. Not that it necessarily is in color order. 32, 33, and just leave them sit there. I'll bring the camera back when I'm wrapping up, so you won't feel like you're going blind, but they're just background colors. Alright. These are the classic Colorworks. Now, I know these are American-based floss, and I'm sure other companies over in the States will do thread clubs. But if you're into building up your stash slowly but surely, this is the way to go. Apparently this one, it has a huge collection, the Overa Soie. Massive, massive collection of colors. This one is called Baking Tin. It is silver. And, yeah, it's a silver metallic thread. Let's get those out to one side. Okay, this one is called Caramel. And it's got golds and brown. And this one is called Cappuccino. Nothing really like a cappuccino. It's got pink and a kind of mushroomy brown color. And then candy corn. Not much variation. Well, there's a little bit there in the yellow and orange. There we go. So you can see that there's the dark streaks and the pale that you would get on candy corn, but not the, there's a much heavier kind of orange, I think, in proper candy corn. This one is Candied Yams, which is actually a fairly accurate color, but it's not coming out on the camera quite so much. There you go. On that, ooh, that way. It's orange, kind of peachy color. And then we have Camouflage, which is a dark green and a lighter green. Tell me you can't see it. Sorry, bad joke. Oh, that way. Okay, so you can see some of the mottling of the color there. And then the last one for June is Weeks Dye Works. Now, I get 4 of the clubs. There are actually 5. There is actually the Overa Soie 100.3 on the silk on the bobbins. I didn't like the silk on the bobbins, so I dropped it. You can have 1 club, or you can have all of them and be insane like me. Bordeaux is a really rich berry purple. That's gorgeous. And I love the variegation of the light and dark. Now, I tell you what, when I was sewing, stitching, even in the piece that we were doing for Night Garden. We had things like Twilight, I think, in the Weeks Dye Works. Oh my lord, the colours that came out and the variegation, it was just stunning, absolutely stunning. This one is called Buttercup, and it's just basically a creamy yellow, and if you're from England, it's the colour of your vanilla ice cream. The rich double cream colour, it's gorgeous, and the ice cream is rich as all hell. Cappuccino, another cappuccino, so very similar to the classic Colourworks. Now, Weeks Dye Works are done in North Carolina. Doesn't say where Classic Colourworks are done. Don't think they'd be the same company though. But it's funny how the colour is so similar. Or maybe not. Are they the same company? They can't be, surely. That is Cappuccino by Weeks Dye Works. Both of these being over-dyed. This one being 5 yards. And so is Classic Colourworks. Maybe it's just fluke. Carnation. Now this has a kind of silver sheen to it. There's actually quite a bit of pink in that though. Pink, silver, kind of very subtle shades. Carolina Cecil. Carolina Cecil? Maybe. What is that? Anyway, it's a rusty kind of brown red. And this one is carrot. Now, it's funny. The girls, I brought Sophie into work the other day and they were going, oh, were you blonde as a kid? I went, no, I was carrot orange. I don't think I was this carrot. I know I was bright orange, but I don't think I was this carrot. Well, maybe I was. Just looking at my hair and looking at the colour now. It was pretty orange. Alright, so they are the June colours. Now, I will be showing these again very briefly in Flosstube. But then I will catalogue them and put them into Stash Cache, so I know exactly what I've got. Now, unfortunately, Stash Cache doesn't give you the ability to add pictures or anything, so having a name like Camouflage doesn't necessarily tell you that it's a green colour or anything, so sometimes I actually add in that colour general kind of code with the proper codes as they should be. And then if I need something, well, if it's giving me the specific name, it's easy to find because I put in the code, so 7007 and then cider mill brown, and then I might say it's tan or it's green, or particularly with the Over Swirls, because all they give you is numbers, I will say it's green or it's blue, because we've got blues and we've got the greens now. Alright, now July, let me move those a little bit further over. So we've got classic, gentle arts. Let's go to the Reverse Wall. See, we're getting into the paler greens now. Into the higher 2/4s. And some very pale ones too. So we have 241 is a very pale, almost lemony green. Oh, there we kind of go. Okay. 242, getting into the richer color. 243, getting into the highlighter greens. 244 and 245. Alright, Weeks Dye Works. What letter are we up to? C. A long way to go. Okay. Put these here for now. This is cattail. I think that's a flower, isn't it? Cattail. So it's a mushroomy kind of color. It's a beige and a cream kind of color on cattail. And then we've got one called Chablis, which is a wine. It's pink, and it's got some darker pink through it, and some pale white is certainly coming out on the camera. It's quite subtle, the change on that. And then we have Charlotte's pink. I don't know who Charlotte is, but you've got this gorgeous pink. So from pale to the darker pink. It's really delicate. It's really nice. And then we have Cayenne, which is a dark red into a bright kind of, is it ochre kind of red? You know, the stuff that they might use on face paints, you know, that you'd find in a natural powder rock form. Then we've got charcoal, which is actually quite green. And you've got the light green and the dark green coming out there. And then celadon, which I think is a plant or herb, which is green. And quite subtle shifts in that lighter green and kind of a muddy green. I think from what I'm beginning to see and note, the subtle shift in the mottling in Weeks Dye Works and Gentle Arts I'm really liking. Classic Colourworks tends to be a more solid colour, whereas the variegation through Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works really comes out on your stitching. And I stitch English method, I think it's the English, where you go across the row and then back. So what I've ended up doing, because it's 2 strands, I will do a loop start and I will have maybe a dark bit and a light bit together in those 2 strands, so, but the variegation still shows through. What I might do is pop a picture in here of my Save Life piece, and you can actually see twilight where the variegation comes out. And also with pink, I think it was Punchberry, the subtlety of the mottle really is beautiful. So yeah, just if you're interested in seeing how that comes out, you can actually see what's been stitched. Corn husk, and most patterns call for DMC, they don't call for the over-dyed stuff, which is really nice. Corn husk is yellow, and it is very much like a dry corn husk. Alright, cottage blue is quite subtle, but there is a little bit of grey in that pale blue. Country redwood is red, and there is a really dark streak coming out there as well, so you can see it up here in the end. Then we've got cotton candy, which looks to be just white, if my front camera is going to behave. But yeah, it's just white. There is a little bit of a pinkish tone coming through, very subtle, like it kind of glanced a blow of pink in the dyeing. Cranberry is red, and there is some dark colouring coming through on cranberry, and the rest is, you know, the brighter red. And cornflower is blues and greys, not quite as rich as a cornflower flower, but still pretty nonetheless. Alright, so they are all sampler threads this time around. They aren't the Simply Shakers. No Simply Shakers in this range. I know Carolyn sometimes has difficulty getting the gentle arts coming through from postage. There have been problems with dyeing as well. So any colours that she misses, she will get them back, like backdate those missing colours for the collection. So eventually you get a complete set. But she's steadily putting the orders in and waiting for them. This is another KN. Where was the other KN? It was in here somewhere. Anyway, KN. So it's browns and reds. Very autumny kind of colour. Cauldron. Another cauldron. They all have the same names for the same colours. Interesting. Cauldron is a blue-grey, more grey in real life. It's like a slippery snake. More grey coming through. But there's a pale grey and there's a darker grey there. This is Caterpillar and this is brown. It's like a rich, I was almost going to say chocolate stick. Yeah, a brown, a very, very dark brown, and then a lighter brown. Nice bit of variegation in that. Would make for a really good tree, where you've got the subtleties of timber changes and all that. Cashmere. Now this, ooh, this is kind of like a pale blue, pink, lilac almost. Let's see if I can get that this way. Not that way. You can just about see some of the pink and the blue coming through. Quite subtle. It's quite nice. I'm definitely seeing it there. And this is Carryberry. What is a Carryberry? The name is almost like a person's name. It's pink, and there is a fair bit of subtle changes in that, but it's quite bright. And then, last but not least, Caribbean Waters, or Caribbean Waters, and it's a green. It's a bit more like the front on camera than it is. It looks a bit more aqua on the overhead camera. It's more like the face camera in the green. And not so subtle a change on that. Alright, so there you have it. You get 6 threads in each club. They can and do join up shipping if you subscribe to more than one club as well. The links are in the description if you want to join in, and look at all these pretty colours. So that is shakers, more shakers, and then greens and classic Colourworks. Look at those colours. That's awesome. Let me get me out of the way. And let you see. There you go. Aren't they gorgeous? I mean, if you're into stash collecting, just don't mind me enabling you at all. Check these out though. You can check out the company's pages, or you can see if you can get it locally, but if you can't and you would like to be a part of this kind of subscription club, the links will be in the description and you can join in. You can fill in the Google form and join in. Alright, thank you for joining me, and I will see you around on the tubes. Bye for now. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.